we'll just do our usual professional thing, shall we?
Yeah, tell it to shut up every so often.
Yeah. So, guys, we're back,
We are.
and we said we'd do one for Christmas, and it's January.
Well, that's not bad for us.
That's not bad at all.
No.
And we're also trying something which we have done before, and most people, everybody said, oh yeah,
That's
well, I'm
all
not
right.
bothered.
Yeah, we'll do that.
We're doing the podcast in the car because we're having to do a bit of a journey in the Genesis GV60.
Very nice place to be.
Yeah, quite possibly the quietest car to do a podcast in. So this isn't something for podcast headphones in. It's more of a YouTube podcast.
Yeah.
Because you can get away with the road noise that even this has, even though it's very,
does have some.
very quiet. A podcast. We're back on Driving Home, and let's just dig in.
Yeah, let's go straight. Let's get straight into the meat.
Oh, and I should point out that we can't figure out how to shut up the sat-nav woman. So you're just going to have her in
You're
the
going to have to hear
background.
every so often just saying, yeah, turn right, turn left.
Which is, again, an example of how good we are at the professionalism of audio and video and just the social media medium.
I mean, it's almost like a recording booth, isn't it? It's so quiet.
Oh, yes. I mean, tell you what, if we weren't moving, it would be.
Yeah.
Because it's got active noise cancelling for the outside world. The speakers is
Actually
cancelling the
pumping,
noise
yeah.
of that engine next to us and so forth. Anyway, so the topic of this video is Tesla. Because Tesla always does really well when you put it in the title of a YouTube video.
So we thought we'd put that in the title of... Oh, I see. Ah.
But to be fair, we were doing this about Tesla.
Yeah.
So you've now had one for long enough to have a really good opinion on it. I mean, you've driven mine many times,
Yeah,
and Teslas
yeah.
in general.
But never owned one.
We both own a Tesla Model 3. So we're going to start with the question and then see where we end up, of if it wasn't for the supercharger network, would it change our decision? So let's start with you, because you've first EV, driven as many as I have, so lots of experience.
No, I don't use the public charging as much probably as you do, but the times where I have used it, where I've done long journeys, I went to Cornwall not long after getting the car.
Faultless?
Sorry? No, you're faultless.
It's going to be faultless, isn't it?
Yeah. It was amazing. The fact that it puts it into the sat nav as well and just sort of calculates where you're going to go.
You're here for 20 minutes, you're here for 10 minutes,
Yeah.
Or you could literally put Oslo in, and you wouldn't have to think about anything. It's occasionally a bit too pessimistic, I've found, is Tesla. So I've noticed if I go down to my mum and dad's, it tries to take me to somewhere near Colchester.
Yeah.
So it's like, well, no, I know I can get to this one, and therefore blah blah blah. So it's not perfect, but it's the best.
Good. Yeah.
So Tesla just announced, apparently, I'm making this up, the whole supercharger network is open to everyone, every single charge point. You're about to buy your EV.
I think it would mean...
So same financial situation, do you still go for... Because you've got a lot of car for your money, haven't you, in the long range?
Yeah. I think the nice thing about the long range, and still the standard range, is that on the second-hand market, there's so many of them, just because there's sold so many of them. I think it was
best-selling EV,
best-selling EV,
and the
best-selling
Model Y.
car, wasn't it, for a time? Was it?
Sorry, best-selling car in Europe with the Model Y, and I think the 3 of any car, not just electric.
Which brings the second-hand price down because there's so many people trying to get rid of them.
And there seem to be, even now we're getting to 6-year-old ones,
Reliable.
rock solid reliability. I have heard very, very few people, other than basic suspension.
Little bits, isn't it? What you would expect.
Yeah, in terms
General
of
wear and tear.
the infotainment system, the door handles that the Model S suffered from, the headlight. Again, there's going to be some, but it seems to be
a lot better than it was.
Yes, and we've talked about this, haven't we? It's essentially become the Skoda Octavia of the electric car world, as in the original Octavia.
Well, how many taxis do you see now that Model 3s?
Yeah.
There's loads.
Yeah.
That just goes to show, doesn't it? It is reliable.
And value and comfortable and
I guess
quiet.
if you do have one as a taxi, though, it's trying to explain to people how to get into it when you pull up. It's sort of poking at the door handle.
I get that all the time. But no, so would... I mean, we're sat in a car now that we were both basically... When we just recently reviewed it, said, I'd have one of these.
Yeah.
Over the Model 3.
Yeah.
But the network is a bit of a sticky point. So without that network, would this change it?
I think so. I think that the only niggle for me, not getting this, would have disappeared. So my only niggle of going, well, I'll get a Model Y, or I'll get a Model 3 long range, because if I ever need it, the charging network is so much better.
Yeah.
But if I can charge this and where I can charge that,
Yeah. Done.
yeah.
I mean,
it's a USP of a Tesla, isn't it?
it is, yeah. I mean, what other EVs did you look at the time that were in, so this was what, up to 20 grand, say,
Up
was
to
it?
20 grand. I was actually looking at a Niro, is it the 4 Plus?
Oh, higher near,
Yeah.
so slightly newer, I'm
I'm
guessing.
still keeping my Focus ST, I think it was.
It's like a toy.
Yeah. But the trouble is that there's so few of the 4 Pluses around, and then trying to find one that had a full Hyundai service history. Kia, sorry.
That's why they didn't have a
Yeah.
Hyundai here.
Yeah, that's
Hi,
why.
has this Kia Niro got a Hyundai service history? No.
The full Kia service history. Because if you haven't, you don't have the 7-year warranty.
Well, apparently you do,
Is it?
but you have to prove that you've bought the parts from Kia or something.
Oh,
It's
you
a
know
pain
what?
in the ass.
It's just not even worth going down that
It isn't,
route,
is it? No. So there are other cars out there that are really good, but ultimately, is the Model 3 the best package still? And because of the value and the used market,
I think at the moment, at this moment in time, because there's so many of them on the second-hand market, it is really good value.
and the Model Y is probably about a year off becoming that as well, isn't it? Replacing it almost.
So I think the Y's,
So that was the best-selling car in Europe.
Yeah,
There's loads of them.
the Y's going to be interesting, isn't it? I think that's going to hold its value slightly more, because
It was
especially,
long range only for
and
a
also
while.
in the UK as well, a saloon typically doesn't keep its
Yeah.
value. Hatchback is likely to keep its value quite a little bit more, and an SUV probably a little bit more.
I mean, you're looking at about 25, 6 grand for a 2-3-year-old Y at the moment.
Yeah.
But they're all long range. There was no standard range at launch, so
Yeah.
that's affected it a little bit.
Wow.
What?
Trees.
Oh yeah. Oh, sorry. So we're still doing the podcast. We're just
looking at the trees.
the beautiful scenery of
A lot of frost up here.
the wintry scenery. So you can probably tell when we filmed this. But yeah. So no, I'm thinking it is still the one I would always mention at Teslas. If someone says, like, I'm not a car person, what car do you recommend? I want an electric car.
Look at a Tesla.
Just get a Tesla,
Yeah.
because then they'll never come back to you saying, oh God, I had a right nightmare charging when
Yeah.
we went to my mum and dad's down
It's
south.
just not going to happen, is it?
No, it's not going to happen. So I guess it's not going to change it. I mean, this is why I still have mine after nearly 5 years, because I'm like, what do I replace it with?
N6S towards Birmingham.
Apart from this.
Yeah. I think the thing is once the supercharging network, or if the supercharging network does open up to
Yeah.
everyone, I must admit though, on the journeys that I do, when I have been to use a supercharger, and there's something there that isn't a Tesla, you're like,
Whoa.
yeah, just wait a minute, we're not letting anybody in, are we?
Especially when you get some of them that have to pull in a certain way.
Yeah, to get to
And they're
it.
blocking two charges
Yeah.
because it's on the wrong side.
Yeah,
for them.
we're letting the riff-raff in.
Yeah. You know what? I mean, apparently they're fixing that with longer cables eventually.
Yeah,
But essentially, there is a certainly if you go back a few years, isn't there, a Tesla smugness
Yeah.
from the from the people online, the Tesla rati, shall we say, of
I can't believe it.
they're letting the muggles
Yeah.
use our chargers. This is why I bought the car. Damn it.
Yeah, exactly.
So no, I still think that it's the go-to EV, and now they're a ridiculous value for what you're getting.
It's the benchmark, isn't it?
It is the benchmark, and it's annoyingly benchmark. And what do you think about? Let's change tack. I've had so many comments in the last few months saying I am not getting another Tesla, or I am selling my Tesla, or I never will get
Because
a Tesla
Elon Musk is mental.
because of him.
Yeah, it's a really tricky one, isn't it?
Would you cut your nose off to spite your face? Because let's face it, he hasn't got enough to do with Tesla that he's going
No.
to be bothered about what whether you buy them or not now.
I think he's already. I mean, to be fair,
Would you not
I
get a
don't
car
think,
for that?
I don't think. If everybody didn't get the car, but it's not going to happen, is it?
No,
It's.
because
I guess it's,
Yeah.
it's if morally you feel that you can't. And I guess these next couple of years with him having a bit more sway in America than he has done, is probably going to make a lot of people choose that.
yeah, well, it could affect his own sales.
Yeah, if he does some absolutely terrible things, then I think that may well affect him.
If
Well, more.
Keep left.
no, it's just there's certain things that you think, what's it got to do with you?
Yeah.
Why? What? Go away.
Yeah.
I don't care that you got loads of money in you. You say what you want, but ultimately,
Can we send him to Mars?
well, he wants to, doesn't he?
Not just him.
Well, no, there's littered is the comment section with people saying that.
Yeah.
So
No, I
it
don't-
must have an effect.
Yeah, well, I can.
Must have.
I can
And the
appreciate
Powerwall
what
as
people
well.
are saying. Yeah.
I spoke to people through my job at Give.
Yeah.
I was going to get a Tesla Powerwall, but I can't stand him, so I'm getting an all-in-one from Give Energy instead.
Well,
Because of what the one person online is saying.
Yeah, I guess I think probably it does influence his sales if that's what people are telling you.
So do you think you'd ever not buy
get-
something
because-
that is the best for you at the moment because of something like that? I guess it's like the vegetarian argument, isn't it? You know, are you going to put your morals before something you actually want?
Yeah.
But is it?
I guess
does he affect Tesla enough to, you know? Is he actually? He's not doing it. It's not like he's in the factory
No,
doing anything, is it? He just happens to own most of it, I think.
I guess for him is that if he keeps high profile enough, any advertising is good. Gets the name around, doesn't it?
Yeah, I suppose. Maybe that's his thing.
M6 for 4 miles.
Say something outrageous, and it keeps Tesla being talked about all the time.
I mean, he literally has become the definition of a Bond villain, hasn't he? Really. Based on Mars, sorry.
The nutcase.
Yeah.
And you know, there's a lot of people that, for years, wasn't it? You could say it online. Anything he said bad against Tesla, they'd massively come to the defence.
yeah.
Elon's trying to save the world. Elon. It's like I always laughed at that. Elon is trying to do. You've never met the guy.
No.
Stop calling him like he's your best friend.
I'm pretty sure that he's not trying to do that. He's
But-
trying to make a bit of money.
But that's stopped. There's a few people that are, really Tesla nutcases.
Yeah.
But in terms of defending Elon, that seems to have gone quiet. So
Well, it's
as the
less defendable now, isn't he? Really.
yeah, you can't really defend some of the stuff that they're coming out with.
I mean, sometimes when I hear what he's said in the news, I'm just like, why?
Yeah, there's no need for it, is there?
No.
As in, it's not even done anything for him.
It's almost like it's become a bit. It's trolling. I can't think of a better word to say with some of the stuff.
He's a troll, yeah.
Yeah.
And then when you're trying to influence, not just America, because he's not American. A lot of people forget that. What is it? South African, is it? And now he's trying
That
to...
explains a lot.
A lot of people don't like the fact that he's not American and
Yeah.
he's delving into American politics.
Yeah.
And now he's sticking his R in UK and European politics as well.
Yeah.
And it will influence people. And I'm not saying some of the stuff he says isn't probably correct or whatever.
There's better
or
ways
something
of
that
doing
needs
things,
answering,
isn't
but
there?
yeah, there's ways and means, and that's not it. So, well, Tesla.
I don't
Does it affect
think
it?
he's
Does it
going to
affect?
ruin them.
Nah.
I mean, it's just too. It's
Product's too good, isn't
Too
it?
good a product, yeah. And maybe he knows that.
And then I always say to someone, all right then, I understand what you're saying, and I applaud you not buying something for moral reasons. But then look at other stuff.
Yeah.
iPhones.
Yeah.
They've got lots of issues, haven't they, in terms of where they come from. Oil.
Clothing.
You're buying oil and gas from Russia,
Yeah.
who are at war, who have invaded multiple countries.
Yeah.
But people aren't going, you know what, I'm not going to get a petrol car because I don't like where most of it comes from.
Yeah.
It's just not going to happen, is it? So I find that sometimes people choose a few things, don't they? And what's the phrase? And I'm not saying people are doing this, the virtue signalling. I hate that phrase.
Yeah.
Oh, you're virtue signalling. No, I'm just saying what I think.
Yeah. Well, that's it.
It's like the word life hack. When did that become...
That's not a thing, is it?
Yeah. When did that become a term for, I've figured out how to tie my shoelaces?
Yeah. Life hack.
Life hack.
Have you seen some of the life hack videos and you're going,
What? You've read the manual.
yeah,
That's all you've done. I've got a hack for the iPhone. Did you know if you press this, you can do that?
going, yeah, of course you can. That's-
Stop calling it a hack.
It's a function.
You've not hacked anything.
No.
A hack is you have made something do something that it wasn't
It
designed for.
wasn't meant to do.
And now, well done you.
Yeah.
Not you've read the
You've
manual.
redefined it.
It winds me up, does that? So, no, is there let me change tack then. Is there a brand out there that has no detractors at all? The country, the ownership of the brand, is there anything out there that is clean as a whistle?
Probably
In
not.
car
no.
world.
No. I mean, you could argue no, because none of them are made. They all take energy to make these cars, don't they? They're all polluting the atmosphere. Whichever way you look at it, a vehicle, whether it's petrol, diesel, electric, aren't particularly green. I don't think there is one there that you go, oh, I'm getting this and I can get this and feel smugger because this one's saving the planet.
Well, yeah, there's some that are better than others, but ultimately,
Yeah.
yeah.
Right, coming off here. Yeah.
So
I think that's it.
I don't know. For me, it's
But
everything has a downside,
Yeah.
isn't it? Literally every product in the world, not just cars.
When I think for me, when I bought my electric car, I didn't think of getting it just because I want to be greener.
Yeah, mine. It was
For me,
it was money
it's
saving.
going to be cheaper for me to have this than it is to have that, and it's a newer car, and it's
Very fast.
yeah, it's quicker, bigger.
Yeah.
100 yards
Ticks more
leave the
boxes.
roundabout at the
Yeah.
third exit.
No,
Keep at
yeah.
the third exit.
Years and years ago, nearly 10 years ago, can you believe when I bought the Leaf?
Yeah, yeah.
10
Is it?
years. Yeah. 2015.
Wow.
Middle of, another few months I'll have had the channel, 10 years.
Now leave the roundabout
Um,
and then keep left.
And it's
Now
like,
keep left
whoa.
and then right.
this is what happens when you do a podcast in a car.
Yeah.
So no, for me it's, I forgot what I was saying.
Yeah.
We're just going to, there's no editing going on here.
No,
We're
just
gonna
put it on.
Again. We've got 16 minutes left, I have to say, before the card runs out.
Okay.
So let's change tack again.
Yeah.
I don't know what to change tack into. We've put no planning in this whatsoever.
No, I think we're gonna.
This may not go out because
I think the trouble is that we're talking, and every so often I have to go. I'm going to make
where am I going? Yeah, 'cause we're going somewhere we've never been before,
Yeah.
so we're having a look. But no, I think back to the old Tesla thing. That's got a lot of content in Tesla, hasn't it?
Yeah.
What do you think of the new Tesla Model Y? They've just released the pictures.
I
It doesn't like a Hyundai Kona at all.
No, it doesn't. No. It doesn't look like they're taking any inspiration from RoboCop's helmet and visor. I like the back of it.
Yeah, and I want to see it in the flesh because you can never tell from pictures.
No.
But it looks all right to me.
Yeah.
It's an upgrade. But what do you think about the
Please follow
indicators?
M56.
Well,
Is it one of those where you have to drive it to really know if you know? Because most people who say, no, it's fine. It's a really, really, that gives you almost full lock sort of thing. So
I think the thing is, you're gonna have to, like with a lot of things with Tesla, is you're gonna have to get used to it because that's just what they are.
Does it put you off buying a car? Because it does put a lot of people off.
I would want to drive one, but I think the thing is, if they've
You shouldn't have to
if
get
it
used
had
to it.
made, no, you shouldn't know, but Tesla to do that sort of thing, like the door handle. Why have a door handle that doesn't necessarily look like a door handle and isn't intuitive to use? No one's winning, are they, at that?
Tesla have only removed these stalks for their own purposes to
Yeah,
save
save
manufacturing
some money.
something. It's not because it's better,
No,
even though there's a few Tesla people out there that say it is better.
no, it's done for
Delusional. No, you're not.
production
Yeah,
savings.
Exactly. If everybody could use it without thinking, it would be better, but they can't.
No.
So
I mean, obviously they're still selling them, so it hasn't impacted sales at all, has it?
I don't think so. But
Or not to at least an extent where they're having to change their mind on it.
it's hard to tell because the market, in general, the economy,
Yeah.
is in not a great place, is it?
No.
Compared to when the Model Y was at its height in sales terms.
Yeah.
So no, again, it's one of those where the Model 3, the new Highland as it was called, is definitely an upgrade. You got like, quiet, double glazing
glazing,
almost, and it's more efficient, and it looks a bit
Definitely an
nice.
improvement on the first
It
one.
is, yeah, but that I think Lorna would have a problem with that in terms of. I don't
Oh,
like
do you know
this.
what? I would keep going like that
Oh,
for
yeah,
ages.
you would.
Just muscle memory.
especially with the sheer amount of different cars we drive.
Yeah.
So we're always going to be used to. You get used to doing that when you only drive that.
Yeah.
And I wish they'd have done the Ferrari thing, where at least if you're going to put it on the steering wheel, put them on either side.
Yeah, so you can get
Not
to it easily.
not both indicators on the left side. That's ridiculous.
But extra buttons would have cost more money.
Yeah. And that's all it is. It's essentially how can we make this cheaper to manufacture?
I think you've hit the nail on the head there, haven't you? Really?
And I'm not against that.
No.
If I can get it cheaper. In fact, let's end on that one because we've only got. How have we got 19 minutes left when it was 16 before?
I don't know.
Maybe it said 26 and I misread
I misread it. They don't.
What were I talking
Well, it's
about?
getting dark, isn't it?
It is getting dark and you might not be able to see us, but as long as you can hear us, which is got car noise. This is. I might put this out anyway, just for giggles. I forgot what I'm going to talk about now. I had a good idea and it's gone out of my head.
This is just our age.
Oh no!
Oh.
What am I like?
We need to write stuff down.
I was thinking about Tesla then and the indicators and what would I do? Ah, you moron! Think of something while I'm thinking.
Oh, God. I thought it was just hum a song.
Baby Shark or something
Da,
annoying.
da, 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 da.
No. Okay. Well, let's.
Well,
talk.
thanks for watching and goodbye.
Oh my God! I thought this would get one done because we don't have enough, time
Yeah,
recently
just
over Christmas.
two birds.
So yeah, we thought,
One
well,
stone.
yeah, and we get to try the car, see how quiet it is.
Yeah. But obviously,
But we
our
were
brains had other.
completely unprepared. I'm going to put my heated seat on, because it's not on at the moment. And this, is anybody still listening or watching? Because should we just end it there?
I think-
this is appalling. Should we put it on members only? Because they're paying for it.
Oh, that'd be hilarious. Who would pay for this?
Maybe we should do that. Oh, tell you what, that's what we can finish on. Should we move the podcast to members only, as in the proper one, not this? Because
Who's watching now?
well, let's have this discussion between us then.
Okay.
Would it be added value for members to encourage more people to sign up, which is a benefit to the channel,
If you.
or should we keep it on the other channel so anybody can listen
More
to
people might listen to it if it were members only.
it? Possible. I don't know. We'll get a few thousand.
Yeah.
So, what do you think? Should we move it to members only to give it a added value, essentially?
It means we would have to
Because
create
it
them
can-
on the more.
along with the normal videos. I mean.
Yeah.
So it's just that another added benefit of occasional members only content.
I wonder how many people that aren't members are actually watching the podcast.
Well, I guess there's more. Yeah, that's the trouble. I suppose there's a lot of people that said, "Oh, I like listening to the podcast." If we then monetised it, it might not go down well. You have to pay to listen to it. Whereas I look at it as added benefit for people that are paying.
Yeah.
So it's quite difficult, really, isn't it? Because we don't do enough of the podcast for it to become a. Hang on a minute.
A weekly or monthly.
Yeah,
or
you
whatever we
monetise
think.
something that a lot of
Yeah.
people use. This is almost like a new start. So let us know in the comments if for the 4 people that might still be
Still
actually watching this one, because I keep on thinking about that, and we did do it for a while where it was members only.
Yeah.
But then the second channel, like you say, it means more people have access.
I think I'd like to leave it open for everybody. I mean, it would be nice, like I said, to have that value-added thing of the
yeah, leave it
membership.
open.
But
Yeah. It's probably better. I mean, this is not. If this is your first driving home, this is
Oh,
not
God.
typical. Normally we're less shit.
yeah, and less tired. Caught the yawns from somewhere.
And we're not in a car either.
Yeah.
Usually.
I think the car thing works well if we know where we're going.
Yeah.
But I think when we have to use his brains and go, oh, hang on a minute.
Yeah. I ask you a question. You go. Give me a second.
Yeah. I've got to make sure I'm not going to crash.
So no, whether this will go up or not, I might just put it up because it's better than nothing. Is
It's
it better
funny.
than nothing?
It's just funny, isn't it?
It's
This is
bad,
what-
better
this-
than nothing.
This is what happens, kids, when you don't revise.
Yes, absolutely. What's the phrase? Piss poor planning.
Piss poor podcast.
Yeah, that'll do. So no, yeah, we'll keep it open.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll keep it. We won't change anything because for the loyal 2 or 3 people that are listening to it, they might not be able to anymore.
Which would be a shame.
It would. Right, well, has this magic thing gone up? It's 24 minutes.
What's going on? How's that working?
It's the timer.
Was the
I
time?
must have clicked the button, so instead of saying how long you've got left, it's
How
counting.
long you playing?
It's counting up.
Right, that makes sense then.
Oh my god! When you thought this couldn't get any worse?
No, we've got hours left.
I'll turn that on as well, just so it seems a bit better. We've got about 15 minutes of this crap. I thought we'd been talking for more than we thought, but obviously not. Oh wow!
Brilliant.
I mean, when you thought you couldn't get any worse.
And then there's us.
What podcasts do you listen to? I mean, with the Michelin Ambassador thing, I've delved a little bit into the Petrol Ped and Joe Ackley's do one,
Yeah.
which is sponsored by Michelin.
Is it?
Now
I don't
thought-
think Michelin are going to sponsor this.
They'd probably say, well, we could put your name on if you want. We ain't paid you any extra.
No,
I wouldn't either.
no. I'd be embarrassed to ask.
But should we put some effort into it to try and get to their level? I mean, they've got like proper microphones and do it in like a garage. You know, I won't say a studio, but they've actually put effort into it.
Do you think that's us? I know somebody there. It's just too professional. It's better if there's two people in the car not having a clue what they're talking about.
But then I'm thinking, could we get something from it? And if we're getting something from it, we will do it properly.
It's a difficult one, isn't it?
So it'll take ages to build a
build
podcast.
it up,
Yeah.
It's getting people on board with it as well, isn't it? Unless it's just us two talking about things, getting other people on board, talk about.
Oh,
various
like
bits and pieces with them.
yeah, as in other YouTubers and things like
Yes.
that. Yeah. Interviews.
Yeah.
Oh, that'd be good, wouldn't it? Remember when I talked to Robert Llewellyn on the channel?
Yeah.
And that was what it was their idea. It was Fully Charged idea because I sell them a lot of tickets apparently in the North, Fully Charged North Harrogate one. And they went, oh well, what if you can interview Robert Llewellyn? And I went, oh, all right, yeah, but in person. I don't want to do it over the webcams or like that. And they said, yeah. So imagine if that. Right, Mr. Robert Llewellyn, welcome to Driving Home.
Yeah.
If you're going, what is this?
It's got a H on your head.
Two Red Dwarf fanboys.
Yeah. In episode 6 of season 4.
Well, I keep on thinking, can you? I don't know what you measure podcasts by because it's very difficult from the tables that we used to see when it was on the proper podcast stuff. It's like, we're at number 1 according to this automotive thing. We can't be.
No.
It's a load of rubbish, so I never know how to measure the success of a podcast. But most of them are on YouTube now, so maybe that's just the best place for it.
Well, the funny thing is, there's some incredibly popular podcasts, isn't there?
Oh, God, yeah. Everyone's got one.
Yeah.
I mean, literally everybody. The only thing we're missing on this channel is a gaming version of the channel.
Yeah.
Even Matt, I think I listen to
Board game.
Board game. Matt Armstrong, he's got a gaming channel. Why? Because people will watch it. But ultimately, I'm thinking podcasts are very but they're quite easy to do and they're quite enjoyable as well.
Yeah.
So I never know whether or not to increase the effort level. But then it's the timing in it that we always come back to.
Yeah.
And as soon as you start doing it even vaguely properly, you have to keep doing it, don't you?
First exit.
It's that commitment.
Once the trouble is that, like you said, is once you start,
Now leave the roundabout.
if you're going to have any sort of premium thing with your podcast, is you need to put the effort and money into it, and people expect a certain thing, don't they? If it's just us prattling about,
You can get away with that for a bit of fun, can't you? A bit of side
if you had
content.
a sponsorship, they'd have some expectations from that.
Yeah. And you want to get newer people on board.
Turn right onto Sutton
You're not going to get
Causeway.
people subscribing to Driving Home with this video,
No.
this podcast, are you? In
No.
a car with no plan whatsoever. Do you know what I should do? I need to try and get onto a podcast to see how it's done.
Yeah, just copy it. Just a bit of paper. You're taking some notes there? Yeah.
Uh-huh. All right, okay, microphone, yeah, I can do that.
Microphone.
But now the rat cage has moved out of the office, I've got a big open area at the back of the office that could fit a settee. That could be the podcast studio.
We could call it the casting couch.
Yeah.
Now
Next you'll
turn
be wanting to buy a bus.
It's not a bad idea. A taxi.
Casting couch. I don't know, maybe
Please follow the road.
would
for
anybody
2 miles.
listen to a podcast if it was just me for the times that we can't get together? Can you have a sole podcast? Does that work? What's it usually
Question yourself.
yeah.
And what have you got to say about that? Well,
I'm in no mood for my own shenanigans today, guys. Do you know of any podcasts where it's just one person?
don't know.
No.
I mean, the only other thing is doing it via webcam, isn't it?
Well, we've said that a few times, haven't we?
We just never got round to it.
Record yourself at your end and my end, and then just put them
Join
together.
up together.
But even then, it's like 7 o'clock. Should we do a podcast in half an hour? Well, I'm just about to start tea actually.
Yeah.
Kids and all that. Should we do it next week?
Yeah.
That'll exactly what will happen. Won't it?
Yeah.
But it does give us another option. So we say it. Let's face it. We say it on every bleeding podcast. We'll probably get sick of people. You say this all the time, guys, and you never do it. Just stop.
You just say, just tell you what, just stop doing it. At least we know then.
It'd be nice to have another outlet.
I think
you can delve into stuff far more, can't you?
I think
with
what
the
we
podcast?
did before though is we had sort of a plan of what we were going to talk about, didn't we? For each episode. And sometimes when you're going on, we had a little bit of an idea for this one, and then realised that we needed a little bit more time.
Well, yeah, because
So do a
sometimes
bit of research or...
yeah, sometimes you go off on one, don't you? But the trouble is, the research that you'd have to do for a podcast equals that of a YouTube video.
Yeah, yeah.
And again, it's time.
Sometimes you have to be able to just get your phone out and just to check something as well.
Yeah, it's like, all right, we've got to get the prices for all the... spend 2 hours preparing for a podcast that ultimately is not going to earn you a penny.
Yeah, yeah.
Just going to take your time, editing, filming, all the usual stuff. And, you have to be selfish at some point and go, it's not worth spending a few hours on something that's of zero benefit to me.
Yeah, yeah.
But then that's how you build one up, don't you? You got to have that initial pain.
Yeah, of building
That
up.
initial, like the channel, I guess, it took years to get to that stage. Oh, these electric car drivers just pulling out on you.
And speeding off because she's embarrassed.
Why do you do that?
Oh my God, I'm gonna get away!
We've all done it, haven't
Yeah.
we? It's like if you
Made a prat
stall,
of yourself, yeah,
if you
then
stall,
speed off.
and then you put your...
I don't know why.
you do, don't you?
Human nature, innit? I'm so embarrassed. Get away, get away. Don't make eye contact.
You know what? That would make a fun podcast. Just driving around and reacting to
Other people's
idiots.
yeah.
You'd have to edit a lot of it out, obviously, but there's so much content out there, isn't there?
It makes it invents itself, doesn't it?
Ooh.
The driving podcast.
No, even better. I mean, there's no realistic way of doing this without spending literally days of driving a week. But how popular are dashcam videos? Imagine if that has got live podcasting behind it.
Oh yeah, that'd be amazing.
That's the future
Yeah.
of dashcams, wouldn't it? Dashcam.
24 hour a day, 7 days a week.
I mean, how many people tune into like planes landing at airports?
Yeah.
It's really popular, isn't it? Imagine that on a car.
I'm driving round Bradford and Leeds.
Well, yeah. Oh, look, we've got a police chase going on now, guys. Live on
chasing
the
us.
podcast. So yeah, maybe, yeah. I've just envisioned the future right there. It just means that you're gonna have to spend all your week driving, I'm afraid.
And we can't have an electric car because we'd have to charge it. It's wholly inconvenient. So we need a car that can do about 700 miles in between stopping.
Yeah. Audi it is then.
Audi A4.
Audi diesel.
Yep.
So right, well, should we end it there?
I think so.
In fact, shall I put a bit of we'll record something now, but put it at the beginning,
Okay.
which is going to sound really odd as this is now the beginning. Okay, this
Apologies.
was a bit of an experiment to do something in a car, and I think it would have worked in this really quiet GV60. However,
We just kept forgetting what we were talking about.
yeah, and we don't know where we're going, so we keep on having to you
Break
keep on
off.
having to drive.
Yeah.
Essentially, because you have to pay attention to that sort of thing. This is terrible. This is absolutely diabolical. And you think if our normal ones is bad, this is even
Just turn
worse.
off now. Save yourself 30 or 40 minutes of your life and just don't watch the rest of this.
And ironically, that will probably get more people watching than a good
Yeah.
podcast.
And we're not joking. We're not trying to
No.
trick you into watching this. It genuinely falls to pieces at about 30 minutes in.
Maybe, I think
Maybe
less.
less, yeah.
Because we were halfway down a rabbit hole about Tesla, and then I forgot what I was saying.
And I was concentrating on driving so much that I'd forgotten what we were saying as well.
And it never came back in.
No. No.
So I can't even edit the bit out where we're like, what were we talking about?
It was like watching two senile old men talk about the past.
Maybe we could get the podcast sponsored by like Age UK or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, or just,
Think a loved one may have Alzheimer's.
this is the podcast for you. Oh no, it's terrible. So if you want to carry on, the warning label has been read.
Yep, it definitely has.
Even I'm appalled at this.
Yeah.
And that's saying something. So now let's stop this bit at the beginning and put it at the end. So
Yeah.
we're now going to do the end bit.
Okay.
We're at the end bit.
Wow, and you guys watched this to the end or skipped past the bits that were just
Well-
us babbling?
This is the perfect time to ask, if you are still watching this,
Yeah.
please tell us in the comment section. How bad would you rate this? And we're not saying this ironically to get you to say, oh no, I love it, really. It was really
I
bad.
say 1 out of 5, I think, yeah.
It
yeah.
is awful.
Maybe it's really funny to watch two people struggling to remember what they were talking
Well,
about.
you know that live stream I did where I gave away the battery and it just fell apart completely? I don't know if
Yeah,
you watched
yeah,
it.
yeah.
Because people were trying to cheat.
Oh,
Everyone's
right.
like, oh, it's the funniest thing I've ever watched this because it's gone wrong so badly it became
Yeah.
funny. Maybe it's become that.
Maybe it has.
Is it Judge Dredd, the one with Sylvester Stallone?
Oh.
Because it's so bad it's become good. Ooh.
What a cult classic.
Maybe that's what we should have renamed the podcaster. So
So
bad,
bad it's good.
good.
Yeah.
So anyway, thanks for listening to this crap.
And apologies.
Normal service will be resumed where we're less shit.
Yeah.
Whenever we can be bothered to do another podcast.
Yeah, I think so.
So we're currently driving on slushy roads. Hopefully we'll get home because we're quite far away from home.
Yeah, and the frost's coming in.
And that's assuming you can still see us, of course. I wonder if I can put the screen up. Ooh, that's quite dark,
Walk a
isn't it?
mile,
Yeah.
turn right.
Wow, you won't even be able to see us.
Chestnut Lane.
This has got even worse than I thought. Oh my lord! I thought.
Maybe what we do is, as
Oh!
the lights fade in, the volume does as well. Just gently.
Oh my! I thought they could see. This camera's meant to be really good at low light, but I think I've underestimated.
I think
how
we've
low
figured
light-
out. I mean, if you sit further forwards, there we go.
Right. So thanks for watching. You know what? There's no point in
I'm
thanking
really,
anyone.
I'm really sorry.
Sorry for watching.
Yeah.
Sorry for watching. Bye bye.
Bye.
Bye bye. Wow, we've just wasted 36 minutes of someone's time.
Wow.
Jesus.